Hi guys, welcome back to episode 10 of the GenZ podcast with me, Tanika Tamsin. So before I introduce my guest, I just want to say thanks for everybody who's been supporting me for these past 10 episodes. I've really been enjoying everything, and yeah, keep subscribing to the channel because we've only got great content coming out from now on. So let me introduce my guest. It's Krista.
Hi guys.
From you was on a few episodes ago, wasn't
Yes,
you?
I was. I think
the
it was
Walking
7,
Journalist.
episode 7.
Yeah. So get comfortable, you know, she's basically family here now. So the first thing I did want to get into is this whole Lil Nas X thing. If everybody didn't know, Lil Nas X just released a song called Montreal, Call Me By My Name, but it's really satanic, and with it he released some trainers which is it's got like a drop of human blood apparently, and it's just a massive devil campaign. What's your thoughts on it all?
Personally, I think he's being honest because, for example, I remember when Lady Gaga brought out that perfume and it had like sperm in it and stuff, and she's
real sperm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was. So I'm not surprised that these artists are doing that. Like some of them, I feel like are associated with like the whole devil worshipping thing, and I feel like, and as well, sorry, I do feel like it's like a PR move, because that stuff will get people talking like, oh my god, what has he done? And obviously
it is a huge PR move. Like, I just watched the video, it's already on 21 million views, it's had 201,000 comments. So like clearly shock is what sells. Like even though we're debating about it, he's still making a lot of money off it right now. That's so like, as much as we can say let's cancel him, he's basically done. And we gave him, because he knew it was going to be controversial. Even like when he was twisting down the pole and stuff, like even like the over sexualization of the video, it's just all completely shocking. I reckon he went into the office and he was like, I want to do the biggest, most shocking campaign ever, and you can't go any more shocking than the devil. You can't.
That's true. He was, I don't know, like he was dancing the lap, like giving the devil a lap dance. I think he was like putting the middle finger up to Christians in that video.
Wow,
like,
he made a tweet, and in the tweet, well, I'm paraphrasing, but in the tweet he said that he's been gay and Christianity has rejected him, so he went towards the other side.
I mean, that's what he chooses,
truthfully, if we like avoid like not mention the actual religion, it makes sense what he's saying, but I feel like you can't play around with the devil, man. You cannot play around with the devil. That's
the thing. I feel like although people are doing this like to get more views and like get out there more, you're like still venerating that. So it's like you're opening the door, and once that door's open, it's going to be hard to close.
This is what I'm saying. Like, and I can imagine him coming out in like 10 years, devoting his life to Christ and stuff.
We never know.
Realistically, does it ever turn out good when people go on this whole well, Rihanna done it really. She didn't go like that far with like hugging the devil and stuff, but she did really like try and embrace this whole dark side when she was doing Run This Town. Do you remember that like era of Rihanna?
Yes, I do.
So a lot of artists done it, like Lil Wayne's done it, like, and they're not openly saying, look, I love the devil, but they're openly like displaying devilish behaviour.
Do you not think some of them are being truthful?
No,
I do. I think it's for that documentary called Out of the Shadows. It was so mad. It's
what
crazy.
Is it about?
It's basically these two like stunt guys from Hollywood, and obviously they put their careers on the line to just expose what was really going on, all the like spirit cooking and all that nonsense that they were all into. So it's like, I don't want to assume that he's defo a devil worshipper, but what I always say is I wouldn't put it past him if he was, because they do a lot of stuff to get where they are. Like let's be honest, like I don't even know one's that
like
famous.
The Illuminati.
I don't know about the Illuminati. I wouldn't call it the Illuminati.
I just feel like whenever a black person gets famous, people have to try and like put them down and say it's because of something. So that's what I think. That's why I believe the Illuminati is like gas. Like, but there is like people who believe in the devil, because if people believe in God, there's gonna be people who believe in Antichrist as well.
Yeah, that's yeah.
But it's like, I think with Lil Nas X thing as well, I take it more as like very playful and like for children, like very fake, all of it all, because he's like for the kids. My nephew loves Lil Nas X. Like no adults like, I'm the biggest fan of Lil Nas. Nobody says that.
I still like, even though it's playful, I feel like they have to do it like that because I know, because I obviously, me and my journalist self, I love to research everything. So I know that like when Luciferians, like it's in their book to basically expose what they're doing on just to the world. But obviously because I feel like we're so, what's the word? It's not brainwashed. It's
brainwashed by Christianity.
No, not brainwashed because it's that word. Oh, that word. The word is, I can't think of the word, but because we're so, I'm really struggling here.
Conditioned.
I think it's conditioned.
Indoctrinated.
I don't even know the word. There's a word, right? I can't think of it. And it's because of that, like, I feel like we just take everything as a joke. Like, that's it. We've been dumbed down. That's it.
Okay.
So I feel like when they put this stuff out there, I feel like they might be being truthful, but because we don't believe like aliens are real, we don't believe in any of that nonsense, they're just going to think, oh, it's just for PR, but people are really living their lives like that.
Yeah. And just because it's not in the camera doesn't mean that it's not happening. But I believe that Lil Nas X is not actively a Satanist. I don't believe that. I think he's done it for shock factor. He wants people to be like, do you remember when Nicki Minaj done Anaconda?
Yes.
And everybody was like, oh my gosh, how explicit was that video?
Yeah.
And then Cardi B's had to one-up it with like WAP. Then it's like, oh my gosh. So he's wanted to just do something that will get people talking, and he has got people talking, because nowadays videos are so well shot all the time and they're so high quality all the time. Unless it has something controversial, people aren't often talking about it.
That's true.
Like, think about all the biggest videos that's came out in the past couple of years and people remember them. It's because they've had controversial moments, like Childish Gambino when he done the one in the church, I forgot what the song was called, This Is America, and he's just got all the funny dancing and like he's killed all the church people. It was controversial. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So we're just playing into what he wanted, because he's always going to have the fans like of kids. Kids don't cancel people.
That's true.
They don't cancel people.
That's because kids don't have sense though.
True. But I don't think my nephew would be like, oh my gosh, because he supports the devil, I'm not going to listen to him again. He just thinks, is the song catchy? And because that's where he's making his money from, not from adults. So as much as we're all here discussing how like, oh, we need to get him off our screens, he's still got a lot of supporters.
Yeah. Do you think that so I'm assuming, because you don't think he's a devil worshipper, you don't think there's a drop of blood in the shoe? No,
I think it's all just like, and how would that even be produced? Like, whose blood?
That is true, but not saying he is again. He's not. I'm not saying he is a Luciferian, but say, because they do like human sacrifices and stuff. So you never know.
Nike would not be endorsing.
You don't know. We don't know that.
What do you mean?
It's not Nike.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's not Nike. All the time I thought it was Nike.
And there is human blood in it, one drop in each.
But it can't be real.
It can be, because if Lady Gaga can actually put out a
do you really think there's sperm in there?
She's crazy.
I think that they say it and it's like, oh my gosh, really? But it's not real.
But if you know Lady Gaga, she would do something like that.
How would you mass produce that? Like, I feel like, where do you even go to say, I want to start this off?
I feel like there's people are crazy.
No.
There's people out there that...
certain things that you, like, I understand he's probably, if he's done it, I can't say he hasn't. But how can you actually produce a shoe with human blood in it? You have to mass produce it. It's going through factories where, like,
but
no.
Is it mass produced? It might not be mass produced. Maybe it's like limited edition.
I don't know.
It should be, because I don't actually know who's buying that shoe.
Well, the shoe looks nice. No, the shoe looks good. Like, it's like a black... The shoe looks good.
666 on it.
But the shoe looks good.
And it's got the Satanist star on... Who's buying that shoe? Who's actually buying that shoe?
The shoe looks good.
So you'd buy the shoe?
I would not buy the shoe because of the message.
Right.
But the actual red, in like, if it didn't have the whole Bible verse and all of that on it, it would be a nice shoe. We're not going to sit here and lie. That was a nice shoe that's came out. Right. Okay. Did you like the shoe?
No.
Oh.
Personally, I don't own any Nike trainers, so...
Really?
It's just a thing. Like, I'm just not over there.
I think I don't love Nike shoes, but that shoe was nice, but the message behind it is a bit wonky.
Yeah.
But this is our generation, and I feel like we just have to start getting used to people doing things for shock factor.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna get worse, because even that Cardi B video, It's basically porn. You don't even need to type in Pornhub anymore because it was
Cardi
on there.
B is showing every last part of her, but you can't say anything bad about it because it's women empowerment, and
I was going to say that.
You can't say anything bad about Cardi. But every person who's big at the moment has had a jaw-dropping controversial moment, and this is just his one. And he's kind of like a little sweet boy as well, so I don't understand why he's doing this.
I don't either.
People like his parents, I'm guessing, like the record label, why would they allow him to do that?
Yeah, because when he first came on the scene, I did like him.
He was so sweet.
He was adorable. And then, not saying that because he came out gay, I was like, what the hell? Because there's a lot of the gay people that I've listened to their music, I don't have a problem with it. But when he did that, I was like, are you doing this just to get up there?
I think he likes to shock people, so he came out and he dressed up as Nicki Minaj, and like it was. I like the fact that he's just like very much himself.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about him. But this is a bit of a step too far. But I don't take it serious. I feel like people are thinking that he's trying to push this devil agenda down. No, because he won't be able to release another campaign like this. It just won't happen.
Okay.
Like, so he's done it, he's got his views off it. And remember, we're in the generation of Tekashi 6ix9ine. Look how much he done just to get a little bit of clout.
Yeah.
This is his version of clout chasing.
I guess there is that.
But playing with the devil...
It's a no-no.
Because you know what? I think that I'm very confused about the whole religion thing. So I would never know I can't tell nobody something's not real. But I know not to play with the up aboves. Not even to put that into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like he's literally like a striptease on the devil.
I feel like even if you're not religious, you can still like grasp the concept of good and evil, so you just know not to go on the evil side.
This is what I'm saying. Every sort of religious concept has a good and bad. Why would you go out of your way
to go to the bad
side?
Yeah. Maybe that's where he resides now, because like he said, if he said that thing about not being accepted by Christians, and he's like, if I'm going to hell like it says in the Bible, I'll happily sit in that bed and lay there.
And we're only just because the UK is a Christian country, so we've been taught that the devil's bad. Now I'm playing devil's advocate, funny enough, but
here we go.
What if the devil is... People look at the devil like people look at God. Like we can't do exactly, because
what Luciferians teach is that Satan provides them with knowledge that God won't. So to them, he's like, yes, to them he's like God because he gives them knowledge, but it's dark knowledge, obviously. And they get all the fame. We see them all living their glamorous lives, but in the end, it's like we've been taught the end result of that is you're going to go to hell. So it's like, what's the point? Because
rock and roll's been doing it for years. Like you have those. I don't know the rock and roll culture to actually like tell you the people who support Lucifer, but from my understanding, there's a lot of devil worshippers in that sort of genre of music. And look how much fans they've got. So there is a fan base out there for him. But doing it to like the general black population, I don't think is gonna sell. Like because I can't. It disturbed me watching the video. I felt uncomfortable watching it. I can't.
So did I.
And not even because it was like really super sexualized. It was because of the whole imagery. Like
I didn't even play the song out loud. I was just watching the video because I have a thing about playing things in my atmosphere, especially if it's like that. I don't want it in my atmosphere.
What do you think about people happily dress their kids up as the devil for Halloween? Like people celebrate Halloween. For me, when I was younger, I used to I wanted to go knock on doors, but my mum said no. And my auntie actually used to do this thing called Jesus parties
on Halloween.
And we used to always go to her house, and we actually used to celebrate Jesus instead because Halloween was a devil holiday. Like literally, my household never celebrated Halloween, but kids on Halloween, people are dressing up their children as like devil things.
It's that thing again. Like for me, like all these holidays that we have as a world and all this stuff, like Halloween, like it's always like I always look behind the real. I mean, like what was this for originally? Because we just carry stuff willy nilly and don't know the intention behind it. So I was never involved with that.
Halloween.
Ever. You count me out. But I will say, because obviously back then my family were Christians, so we weren't allowed out. So instead, we would just watch, like Halloween Town on Disney Channel.
That was the Halloween film. What is it? Twitches
as well.
That was another good, solid Halloween film.
Yeah.
But they do always represent like a little bit of a dark side. So kids see it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, funny enough, in these Halloween films, there is always this sort of aspect of the devil in it, and people will let their kids watch that. So a little music video with a little beat behind it.
Yeah.
Is it that deep?
I mean, well, to kids, they just don't care.
Yeah.
So they'll do anything.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like, I don't know, man, it's such a tricky subject.
It is a touchy subject. Let's swiftly move past it. Did you see how Thierry Henry came out and said that he's not returning back to Instagram until they start making people have valid IDs to create accounts?
I did see that.
Like, apparently it'll stop trolling and stuff.
Okay.
Do you think that's, like, needed?
So it was just to stop trolling for ID?
So he thinks that because anybody can make a Instagram account, that's why people can send such horrible messages. But if it was an actual person and you had to use an ID to actually make the account, people couldn't hide who they are. They can't. Catfishes won't be a thing.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I agree with it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't. Because I feel like it completely goes against what social media is about. Because there's like that whole... Like, I feel like you can create a different persona on social media, and like people do use that to be like anonymous. Yeah. And if they enjoy bullying someone, it's because it sounds like.
But people, if like on my Danica Tamsin page, on any page, I'm not set up that way anyway. But people are like, I would never say anything that is horrible to somebody. Yeah. But if I had an account that's 22304 and it's like completely faceless, if somebody's hair looks funny, I'm way more likely to say it than if it was me.
That's true, because if it was yourself, there's more accountability there.
A lot more accountability. But like, I don't know, I think bringing all like government, legal IDs onto social media. So I think we've all accepted that it's fake. Yeah. So I feel like it's a little bit too real. To like give your ID to make an account. Yeah. But there's a lot of people who's making fake accounts, and out of everybody I've spoken to, nobody has I've got a fake account. Like, I've got to be honest, I've got a fake account, but that fake account follows influencers. Okay. Like, I don't. Yeah, it's just to follow Instagram, because I don't like to follow. I don't like it being on my feed. So
that's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, like when I want inspiration, I've got my other account, so I'll actually go into that. But truthfully, I do comment, but I'll never comment anything horrible. But on that other account, if I was that way inclined, because there's no form of accountability that it's me. Yeah. Like, okay, I can say what I want. And a lot of celebrities are getting really bothered by all this, like, backlash, the hate comments. And, like, you look at underneath the shade borough when they post something about Dutchavelli, all the comments underneath is like, he's a nunc, he's a this, he's a paedophile. And, like, if he's guilty of that, as people should, but if he's not...
Yeah, it's a bit intense.
Yeah.
I guess the idea would stop Twitter thugs and all that. Not Twitter thugs, sorry, Instagram thugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would stop them.
But, I don't know. I feel like the thing is, for an ID, don't they already share our information? So an ID is just, I don't know, putting us out there more for them to know. Because they already know enough. Yeah. Why do we need an ID?
But in China, did you know that everything's connected? So if you've got like a WhatsApp and like on your passport, it's all connected.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so like you've got like a social account. I probably need to get fact checked, but it's like they've got a social account and it's like all their details for everything that they do is on the same form of service.
I feel like we're heading in that direction.
Yeah.
Shortly after America, because we always copy America for what reason, I don't know.
But I think it all boils down to like freedom of speech in 10 years is not going to be a thing, you know.
I don't even think it exists now. I think that was one of the lies sold to us. Yeah. Freedom of speech. It's not true, because as soon as you put your opinion out there that's different to what the masses think, you get slaughtered.
Yeah. It can't be a real thing, because like celebrities now, they don't like to hear people, like we've seen it with Meghan Markle, not to talk about that, but we've seen it with Meghan, like they don't like to hear any bad form of speech about them. So even with the comments, they want to avoid all form of bad comments. And it's like, I feel like it's right, they're right in the sense of people shouldn't be that harsh online. People like need to understand these celebrities are people, but celebrities need to understand the low-key signed up for this job role.
I was about to say, they should have known this is what comes with it. I'm not saying it's good, but that's what comes with fame.
That's what comes with it.
You've got your fans and you've got people who hate you.
As much as people who's out there shouting that they love you, you've got people who hate you as well, and it's horrible. The world shouldn't be like that. But do you know what? That's the way the cookie crumbles in this world.
That's
like
true.
Not every. It's actually few and far between where everybody loves one person. Everybody's always going to have people who think they're a little bit annoying, and people have the right to have an opinion.
Yeah.
And when you put yourself out into the limelight, you need to understand that not everybody's going to love your opinion.
That's true.
Like, I got a few little mean comments underneath my Megan video, but I just have to understand that people don't love not everybody's going to agree with me, which is fair, because I don't agree with them.
Yeah. Tip for that.
So this is what I'm saying. But like, if I was, did you see what Cameron put on Instagram, the rapper?
No.
He said something about like he blocks everybody who he doesn't like to see, and I 100% agree with that. If you're a celebrity and if I was a celebrity and the hate comments were getting to me, every last person who's putting a hate comment on there, I'm actually going to delete and block it. But I've got that right because it's my page.
Yeah.
But I can't now tell Instagram, we need to get rid of all these mean comments. Well, you need to get rid of all the good comments as well. There should be no form of commentary.
That's true. But I was also thinking, what about the people who didn't ask to be a celebrity but are? So say like they've done something amazing, and then the people are just rushing to follow them, and then all that hate stuff floods in, but they didn't ask for it.
I don't know. If they didn't ask for it, it's kind of... Give me a circumstance.
No, as in like, okay, actually then again, that is asking for it, the one I was going to give. Just say you, for example, like a Birmingham local did something really amazing, say for the community or something, and like a lot of people liked that, like just like local heroes, say like that, and now you're on like 12k. You know, people are like slaughtering you for what you're doing, saying your money could be going out somewhere, did all this stuff. I was only saying that because we say that when people are famous, they ask for this, like they get it, but when the people who didn't ask, I just think it's, I don't know, like
I feel like if you didn't ask to be famous, you can sort of put yourself away from the fame. So do you remember Dominic Soler? You probably don't.
No.
There was a guy who was caught performing oral sex on a staircase in London on New Year's Eve. Somebody took a picture and he went viral. Like his whole government name got put out there. I'm sure he got fired from his job. Like his life was hard, and he didn't ask for that. He just got caught slipping. Now what he's done is completely disappeared. He just disappeared. And I'm not saying that that's what it's kind of sad that it happened to him and that people know him for that, but he hasn't made it worse by putting on Instagram. Like, he literally just disappeared. We don't know where he is. We don't know what's going on with him. And I feel like that's what you should do. If you didn't ask for the fame, don't like live in it. That Tessica girl, the one who glued her hair down, she clearly is happy with her fame. So she
deserve it though. I'm sorry. She does not deserve it.
She's always posting and she's very happy with her fame. Yeah. But if she now turns into like, everybody says I'm famous for no reason, well, babe, you are kind of famous for no particular reason except for that you made a silly mistake. But now nobody can say that because she didn't ask for it. I don't know, like...
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one.
I get conflicted in this argument because I hear it a lot with like Caroline Flax, like, because when celebrities do like kill themselves, you always get told to be nice. But when we're setting up this new generation and making it out like the world's just going to be nice to you because everybody should be nice, there's people out there who are absolutely nasty for no reason. And I want to gear up every person who I'm around to accept that there's mean people in the world. It's a fact.
Yeah. I feel like people are living in a fairyland.
People are living in a fairyland. I hate it. Like, but I get the concept, be kind, but me and you, we will be kind because we're normal, nice people.
Yeah.
But there's people in this world who are just not the same as us,
Yeah.
and they think that whatever's on their mind,
They say it.
they need to say it. And I'm meant to like make out like everybody in the world is like me.
Yeah, that's true. They're not.
It's so like all of these steps, we're gonna just have a boring generation. Truthfully, I really think we're ruining our people.
Do you?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have such a boring sort of future, because when I really got onto social media and that, it started off with media takeout. Yeah, if you don't know about media takeout, it was like a massive internet website like the Shade Room, but it was a website. They used to post everything about a lot of it was lies as well.
Okay.
But it was entertaining. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun, funny. You made jokes, and like because celebrities wasn't actively watching media takeout, it was kind of like people had their. But now, that would never survive. It would never survive in today's world. You have to be PC. Shade Room's actually trying to delete all their comments because they don't want people to be rude underneath the comments. So they've got somebody who goes in, and whoever says something bad about the artist, it gets deleted.
Why?
But like that's the reason why comments are entertaining. It's not just to.
I love the comment section. Sometimes the comment section is better than the post itself. I can't lie to you.
The comment section is hilarious.
Yeah, there's some comedians in there.
Oh, it was like when Danny Lee must have said something. You know who Danny Lee is?
I do, yeah.
She said something about how she can't get into Snowfall, and somebody commented, you wouldn't get it because it's a black thing. Now that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible.
It is, but it's funny.
But it's funny. It's entertainment, yeah. And as much as we need to be kind, Danny Lee's just a celebrity.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to sound horrible.
no, just say
I
it.
feel like the negative comments is like needed.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's needed because when you take it all away, it's like so fake. Not everyone's saying positive stuff about you.
Yeah.
And you want to portray that for what? Like,
it makes you human. Like, there's people in this world who love Cardi B. Like, Cardi B's got absolute stands.
Yeah.
But Cardi B's got people who cannot stand her. Now, she's meant to just completely concentrate on the people who hate her, but the people who's actually making her money, well, they're all making her money because they're all talking about her.
exactly.
Like,
Bad press is good press.
all press is good, yeah. All press is good press. Kim Kardashian, back in the day, people used to hate her.
Yeah.
People couldn't stand her. Oh, she's famous for no reason. Her body's horrible. But look at her now, like, very successful.
Very, very. It's a shame.
Yeah,
It's a real
absolute shame. But yes, I did want to talk about Derrick Jaxn as well. So once again, guys, if you don't know who Derrick Jaxn is, he's like a relationship guru. He's very inspirational. He's very great. But over the past week or so, it's came out via Tasha K that he's had multiple side chicks and he's cheated on his wife. And the wife came out in a video with him talking about how they're stronger than ever now. What did she say? She said she's wearing the helmet.
The helmet of salvation.
She was wearing the helmet of salvation. That's why she didn't dress up for the video. It's a big thing. Most likely everybody's heard about it. What was your first thoughts on it?
This that was my first thought, me laughing.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. It was actually ridiculous. Obviously, I'll be very honest now and say I did not know who Derrick Jaxn was until this. Like,
Really?
I'd never heard of him.
I watched him all the time. Not all the time, but like whenever like I felt like I needed some form of advice or something, I would go down his Instagram feed, and he's really like inspirational to women.
Yeah.
He's the voice where you feel like the women who don't have hope now because of him.
Yes.
He wrote a whole book about how single mothers are for strong men only, because obviously the world tells you that men don't love single mothers.
Yeah.
And he made a whole book talking about that. Like, he's a great man. Well, seemed to be a great man. So when he cheated on his wife,
Yeah. I did watch some videos, get a bit of a gist of him, and I just have one word: hypocrite.
yeah,
Like,
he's just a hypocrite.
huge hypocrite. I'm disappointed because this is what annoys me so much, like it really frustrates me when we just when anybody feels that they can just talk, like, especially when you're doing the complete opposite.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me. It's like you're telling people, oh, success, for example, say if you're a Muslim, like pray 5 times a day, and you're not doing that. Like,
but there's an argument to be had that his message is still valid, though.
how?
Because, like, if you are a Muslim, you should be praying 5 times a day. Like, what he's saying is still a fact. Like, holding these men accountable for cheating, just because he's not following his own words doesn't mean his words are now false.
I know, but it's like it falls on dead ears if you've just completely gone against it.
It's all about the messenger,
It's
isn't it?
disappointing.
And now you can't trust the messenger. It's shocking, and I don't know. I'm scared of men like him, truthfully, because he can talk himself out of any form of situation. There's a couple of men in this world who are so talented at simply talking.
Yes.
That he can have a girl sit on a couch talking about how a man cheated on her.
That video was so uncomfortable to watch.
So
Did you
hard
see
to
the
watch.
way they were
that was worse to watch the Lil Nas X video, you know, because I felt like that wasn't her. Like,
yeah, it was very abnormal. It's like he forced her to do the video.
Yeah, and then now she's trying to stand in it. Like, no, we didn't, but he did, babe. We all know he did. He was like, we're gonna not have money. Like, I reckon he came a bit like, I'm the provider for the house. If you don't do this, it's gonna equate to us losing money. But he's a scary guy because he still hasn't took any form of accountability. He actually blamed God. Yeah. He said that ever since he started to follow Christ, like he devoted his life to Christ, his life spiraled out of control.
The audacity.
The audacity of it all.
And another thing, talking about himself in third person, that is weird. I can't lie, I do that sometimes, like as a joke.
Really?
But as a joke. But the fact that, I know that sounds crazy, but the fact that he's just completely removing himself. Did you see the video?
Yeah, he was like, he basically was, so he'd done a reaction to the video of his wife and he was referring to himself in third. He was like, you see, with this Derrick Jaxn guys, I said, oh my God, I'm telling you. And I don't believe he's everything that everybody's saying he is. I think he's a very smart man. That's what I think he is. I think he's a smart guy who knows how to sort of talk himself out of anything. He's a smooth talker. Yeah. But this has made him look crazy. And I think he sort of stepped back and he's like, people don't even, this makes me look crazy. Because I wasn't on his side, but I definitely was like, do you know what? Men make mistakes. So I wasn't like, cancel him. I was just like, men make. But when he started to do all this damage control, it made me think he doesn't actually care about the wife. And I know it makes me seem quite shallow when I talk about how she looked. That wife's a gorgeous woman. I can tell by her face that she's a very pretty woman. Yeah. But he never even said to her, look, the internet's horrible. Just sort yourself out a bit. She was in a bonnet.
The helmet of salvation.
The helmet of salvation.
Not a bonnet.
She was in a funny hat, yeah. Like, she actively didn't even try. And do you know what? If she didn't, that's fine. But as a husband, you should be like, do you know what? The world's a little bit hard out there, you know. They're a bit mean. He actually put his wife in harm's way, allowing her to go on there like that.
Yeah, she went along with it.
Yeah.
Silly. And that, you did say something just that he doesn't actually care about. I think that's true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's true. I say there's an element of truth to it because didn't he say... I feel like he cares more about his image because was it a threat that he made to one of the mistresses saying don't say anything because he's got a deal with Derrick Jaxn on the line. And it's like, but what about your wife? How are you going to make her look? Like...
That's where it goes wrong. But I just to be fair, I'm quite understanding. So I understand him. So like, he became famous. He's a good-looking guy. We can't lie. He's quite charming. Probably had women that he couldn't even dream of before. Now he's in this position, and then he clearly didn't have as much willpower as he claims to have. If he would have came from that angle and was like, I can't even believe I've done this to my wife, it would be more of a personable thing. But he still makes out like he's this great guy, but you're not.
I feel like, there's an element of honesty that he's missing. Because I don't want to sound and make men out like they're these sexual creatures, but like... Men, you know, I feel like they're you know, meant to spread their seed basically. Like they what's the word? How do I even say this without making
No,
men
just say
sound...
it.
No, I'm trying to say it without making men sound like sexual predators because they're not. But it's like...
You just covered it with that, so say what you're going to say.
Okay. Men need sex, basically. They need it. And I think there's like... He's not being honest. The fact to blame it on God where instead of you being honest, like, I wasn't done, like, I'm a man. Like, but it doesn't excuse his behaviour because you married someone, you've made a commitment. Whereas if you didn't do that and you were just flinging your dingling everywhere, then it wouldn't have as much...
he kind of was, because he actually got the mistress pregnant, according to Tasha K. And, like, this is what I'm saying, like, if you deep it, it's kind of just... If that was my husband, not only you've cheated on me, you haven't took actions to ensure that a girl doesn't get pregnant. I think that it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I'm surprised she's still there. But I bet...
But, do you know what I find really hard about it all? We're all talking about this situation, like how she's trapped, how she should leave. But if she doesn't want to leave, what can people say? Leave them to their toxic relationship over there.
Yeah.
Because you see it all the time. You see it with your friends. Like, you see it with people. Like, they complain about this relationship they're in, but they're still currently in it. So you're like, are you really that angry? Are you really that pressed?
True.
You're complaining to me, but you can't be that angry if you're still there.
That's true. I feel like that's just... girls though, they just love to chat. So I used to be like that when I had a relationship. I would tell my friends my business, and not all your friends have the best interests for you in terms of relationships. And I'd always say, oh, but I'd still be there.
Yeah.
So I was that girl, can't I?
So do you think people should tell their friends?
No.
Oh, you think they should keep their relationship to themselves?
100%. 100%. Like, maybe if you've got a friend that you know is smart up top, not the ones that will just... I don't know how to say this without being rude to my friends. I won't lie, not all of you are, ones to go and share that information with. Like, so I just keep my stuff hush now because, I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, who's left you and him?
Yeah,
they're not.
That's
there.
the thing, because say if you become like a really solid couple now, and you've spoke so bad about this guy to your friends ain't even gonna want to be around him. And you see it all the time. Most of the times your friends hate your man more than you hate him and get angry with him. Like, it's the truth. Like, so you have to be really careful in what you tell people.
Because it's like selective as well. We're only telling our friends like the bad things, so they've automatically now got this horrible image of your partner in your head, whereas you see both. And then once you've told them the bad things invented, you two probably get over it and you're back fine normal.
This is what I'm saying. Unless you're completely ready to leave him,
I just don't
and
think
you need
tell.
support to get out of the relationship,
keep your mouth shut.
Because I don't know, I'm quite lucky because all of my friends, they're very like blunt. So if they've got man for troubles, they've either left the man or they're not, tiptoeing, okey and pokey and in and out the relationship. But I know that there's definitely people out there who's like to their friends, I'm leaving him, he's this, and then
they're still there.
Like,
just talk. They never want to leave. If you wanted to leave, you would have gone. Right?
Yeah, but you're right where your friends don't see that good side of your partner.
They don't.
If you're only ever telling them the traumas and how bad he is, and they're gonna make this image of like a devil-like image, like, this guy is awful. You need to start being more 50-50 with it. Be like, oh well, he did buy me this, or he did like,
because when your friends see you with him, they're gonna be like, but you said he was this and this, and then but you're like, but he's also this, and these are good things. Honestly, just keep your mouth shut. That's my advice, girls. Keep your mouth shut.
Because that's how we get into problems with like domestic violence and stuff. Because
I think that's different.
people, do you think? Because people are scared to tell their friends how bad he is, so they won't mention it. But like, they're not strong enough on their own to leave the relationship. They kind of need that pep talk from their friends to be like, look.
I think that's different than say like the everyday petty argument or cheating. Domestic violence is completely different.
But all these petty arguments, that people seem to be getting into, I feel like at the moment there's actually not much to argue about.
What do you mean?
Like, there's in relationships now, besides from like the clean cut things, cheating.
Yes.
Like, you know, what is there really to argue about? Like, when you live together, you have to accept that's where arguments can come in.
Yeah.
But in just general day to day, the people who are just always arguing with their boyfriends, is it the right relationship for you?
That's true, actually. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
I've grown, like, I don't argue with my friends at all. Like, I haven't had an argument with my friend. Never. My group of friends now, not even one. Yeah. Truth. Like, there's not been a disagreement. It's been like, oh, we may like have different opinions on things, but it would be like, oh, we have different opinions. We move on. We're still friends. But like, if you're looking to make life with somebody and this is meant to be your boyfriend, shouldn't you have a certain amount of respect where it's kind of like, look, we may argue on what restaurant I want to go to, but you still have this solid ground of it's not an actual argument that you need to relay to somebody.
That's true. So I mean, you talk sense, and I like it. You talk sense. It's very true.
Yeah,
it's very, very true.
I just don't know. It does baffle me, but maybe I haven't been in a relationship long enough to be like, oh, this is why people don't argue. I don't know.
That's true. I'm trying to think of arguments I've had. They're not even needed, because I feel like when two people come together and you have like you may have different beliefs, but you know you have different beliefs, so that should never be an argument, because you know what they think, you know what you think. So,
and it's a respect thing as well. Like, if it's like an argument where it's sort of like, oh, you haven't called me all day, the rebuttal to that shouldn't be an argument. It should just be a respectful answer, like, oh, I've been busy. Like,
but even that, we shouldn't even get to that. I feel like you should inform the person, oh, I'm busy today, babe, I'll call you later.
This is what I'm saying, like, the miscommunications which lead to arguments, if you had a solid foundation, maybe that wouldn't happen. And I'm talking about relationships with our age group as well. Like, do you know people who live together, they've got children, they have a lot, like, work stresses, they've got a lot of reasons to argue. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, if you're literally linking up every Saturday to go to Nando's, like, you're on the phone, tell them about your day, like, do you know what I mean? What is there to argue about? I don't get it. I do not get it. I'm baffed, but as I said, maybe I'm a bit naive.
No, you've got a point. You do have a point.
But yeah, let's move on to your thoughts on feminism. So I want to actually tell people why it came up. Okay. On the way back from our last episode, we're sitting in the car and Chrissy said a few things that was jaw-dropping to me. I said, sis, is this how you think? Well, it was quite interesting, and I definitely wanted to talk about it a little bit more.
Where do I start?
What's your general views on feminism?
On a whole, I'm not going to separate it with toxic, I'm not going to separate it, radical, do that. On a whole, I get what women are gunning for, the whole equal rights and being treated like humans.
Yeah.
However, the way it is going, I feel like it is destroying females.
What way is it going? Like this kind of over-sexualisation of women?
How do I say this? While feminism goals are unrealistic, basically. Unrealistic. For example.
Yeah.
Being treated the same as men. And this is going to sound crazy. However...
Don't worry how it sounds. Because we all know you got a clean heart.
Thanks. I just feel like it's never going to happen. Men and women were never made equally. Therefore, trying to achieve that goal is never going to happen. I get the whole, like... they want the same opportunities, but we were built differently. So it's like, it's so unrealistic to me.
So do you think men should be treated better than women? No, that's the wrong way to say it. Do you think men are superior to women? Like, just naturally?
Superior?
Like, just above women?
I wouldn't say they're above.
If you had a list of number 1 and number 2, men would be 1. Are we living in a man's world?
Oh, gosh. This is such a subject. If I had to, yes, men would be 1 and women would be 2. But I don't like saying the whole... I wouldn't use the word superior.
Yeah.
I'd just say... Well, what I believe men were created first, and then the woman came along after to help. Not saying women are the help now, but they came along to help the man. So it's like Which is another issue I want to bring in, since I've just said that, this whole I don't need a man. Da, da, da. Yes, you do. You do. Yeah. I feel like men don't need us, but we need them.
Really?
Yes, I do.
I think women can do just fine without a man. I think it's been drilled in our head. No, I think... So me... I'll give you like a scenario that I want to talk about that. Yeah. But me, I've always said like I would love to get married, children, that's me. Yeah. But then there's another girl who may never want kids. She's more career driven. She wants to just get on top of her career, but she's not provided the same opportunities, or she might find it harder than a man simply because she's a female. But in her head, like her mindset, she just wants to be like a man, like...
Be like a man.
Yeah, like she wants to do well in her career. Like she doesn't care about this whole maternal, because not every woman wants a child. Not That's every true. Woman wants to literally be married. Like some women, literally, their life isn't based around this whole family. It's not. So it's kind of unfair to say. Well, in my opinion, I think it's a bit unfair. So it's like women are here to help men, because women are their individual selves.
We are our individual selves, but I feel... I'm not saying we're here to help men, but I'm saying if we're talking about men and women, we do help them to an extent.
Men help women?
How?
Like, men help women with finances if a woman can't go
to work. Sorry.
Men help women too. So I think it's more... I think it just should be equal across the spectrum. That's my whole view on it. Like, I can't lie... I kind of don't like these new age women who it's kind of like, oh, I have to have my vagina all across the TV screen for women empowerment. I don't love it. I can't lie.
That don't bother me.
You see, I think it's a bit like you're saying you don't want men to objectify you, but you're objectifying yourself. Like,
yeah,
literally. That's my issue. But I think the general message of feminism, like when I was younger, my sister said to me, I said to my sister, "Oh, are you a feminist?" And she was like, "Yeah, everyone should be." And then and then I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "Yeah, I want women to be treated as equal as men, like full stop."
I remember in my sociology class, when at A level, when we were looking at women, and my teacher was like, "So, is everyone a feminist in here?" And I was like, "No." She completely slaughtered me in front of the class for not being a feminist. And I was like, but why is it such a big deal? Like, I actually don't get it. And then she went on to ask me, I don't mind putting myself out here for this. Then she went on to ask me, what do you think about women running the country? And I said, personally, I don't agree with it. I don't think, for me, it just doesn't look right. I don't know why. I don't want to sound crazy.
Do you want to go down to like, because women are more likely to have mood swings, or
I don't even blame it on that. I think
think of emotion. Wow,
everyone goes to that. I don't go to that. I just don't think it's functional. I think it's probably the way I've been brought up and what I believe about what my beliefs are. And to me, I feel like even if I wasn't brought up like that, it just looks wrong.
Look, but that's because you've been conditioned like that. If you'd seen that just from... So, my niece now, who's like 3, she grows up and all she's seen is like, you know, if Michelle Obama became president, like literally it becomes her norm to see women in power, just like how it's become her norm to see black people in power as well. Isn't that a good thing? It's because you've been conditioned to think that it doesn't look right.
It's not.
But a woman can realistically do a really good job at running the country. Because if you think about women, okay, just think about my family. My dad's a businessman, so I do not doubt his ability to run whatever. I'm very confident that he can. But my mum, when it comes to holidays or just like general, little housey things, my mum's got all of that on lock, like everything. When we go on holiday, it's like on Tuesday we go in here. My mum's a proper planner, and I think that's like a lot of people's mums are very organised and stuff, and that is a great quality to have in a country. Like, I think women
are better at planning stuff and I agree with that. They are. I don't know, I think it's just a me thing, because I even said even if I wasn't brought up like that, for me, I don't know why, I don't know, that one's a tricky one, one about running the country and stuff, because I feel like it is good for girls to see women in powerful positions. However, when we turn crazy and start drilling the whole toxic feminism into it is when it becomes silly, and I just won't take it seriously.
Because I'm a little bit confused as to what you class as toxic feminism.
What I class as toxic is the unrealistic goals, the double standards, and yeah, but do you want me to go deeper? Okay. Well, I gave an example of the unrealistic goals. I feel like we're made differently. We're never going to be equal like that. For example, like in sports and stuff, like it's just unrealistic. When I say double standards, it's something what you touched upon, like, for example, okay, that challenge. Not the Busset challenge, but the one with the silhouette.
Oh, the silhouette challenge.
Yeah, so that challenge.
Yeah.
So women always feel liberated to go in front of the camera and take their clothes off and do that challenge. And then I think there was some guy that managed to remove the filter, so you could see people's actual naked bodies. Yeah. And then here comes women shouting, "Men are such perverts, da 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 da. Like, how dare you?" But you guys put yourselves on the internet naked.
Yeah.
Like, who told you to do that? And then again, it's that whole thing of blaming men. Like, there's never any accountability. That frustrates me. That really frustrates me.
Like, a lack of accountability. But a lot of the issues in today's world boils down to men, you know. I can't lie. Like,
okay, give me 3 examples. 3.
Like, you put me on the spot, so I'll struggle. But even just the general, like, family, yeah. A lot of family structures are broken because men struggle to stay in relationships. Like, so it's not because they don't love, it's because they struggle to be a decent man. That's why a lot of no, it's the truth. Like, a lot of kids are growing up without fathers. That's why you have, like, so much issues. Like, that is a root issue for a lot of it. Also, like, misogyny. It's just rooted in a lot of things, like in the workplace. Because I don't want to, like, make fake scenarios, but even, like, in the workplace, it's hard for a woman to, like, do as well as a man.
Do you know why that is?
Because she's a woman. But I don't know whether you're going to bring this argument, but people always say, like, yeah, but women have to take 9 months off to get to have children, so, like, having a man there is more practical. But no, because men have issues as well.
They do, but I do feel like there's this thing we're missing. Like, men, not saying women won't do this, but men will put in those extra hours. Men will do these, like, things that will, say, for example, get them more pay or allow them to climb higher. I get that there may be an element of favour because they're a man, but I do feel like they do extra things that maybe we don't. I don't know.
I think a lot of powerful men abuse their power as well. Like, you see people like Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, where it's like they're in powerful positions, and simply because they're men, they think, like, women have to do sexual favours for them to try and advance women. Like, I feel like the whole world is kind of pandering to a man. Now, I'm not a radical.
You think the whole world's pandering to men?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think the world's pandering to women?
No, I think the world's like... And obviously now we're changing, and I feel like the change needs to happen. So I feel like we have to be a bit radical to even get halfway of where we need to go.
Oh, I don't agree. I
just think with this whole, like, oh yeah, men, this whole, like, embracing toxic masculinity is why men feel like they can rape women, is why men feel like they have this sort of ownership of women. And that's what I said it in a few episodes ago with Shamila, but, like, I feel like that's my main issue. Men feel like they need to control women, and it's
not
because
all
the
of them,
world
though.
It's because, but the general world, the society I live in, it's always kind of to the man. Don't you think, or no?
No, I didn't. Maybe we see it differently. I just feel like everything is so about the woman now. Like,
as it should.
And men and... But women, as it should.
Women are such... like, I look at women, and, you know, sometimes, this might sound crazy, but when I see, like, a really strong... I don't even want to say black woman, but when I see just a really strong woman, it actually brings tears to my eyes. Because I think so much things as against women to be like that. It's great to see it. It's great. So that wraps up this week's show with the last, so we got the last segment, a message to, this is a message to a person or organisation, a thing, positive or negative. So Krista, would you like to kick it off?
Yeah, it's always going to be negative. Indeed, I'm really annoyed because you guys allow these job adverts to be put on there. We apply for them. We get an email saying to make an account. You take the assessment and whatnot. But it's not even the job. Like, we've signed up to like a survey site or something that just keeps sending you. It's nonsense. Like, you're really out here crushing people's dreams. Like, I've done something to me 3 times now. 3 times I've applied for a job and it's not the job, it's something else. So I think you should look into that and take them down from your website, because you're hurting people's feelings, especially mine. So.
Yeah, that's funny. It's true. This week, my message too is to all these what is it? What are they called? Zodiac sign folks who try to push the zodiac message. Now, I'm not arrogant enough to believe that zodiacs aren't real. Like, because you're born in June, you could act a certain way. That could be true. However, stop blaming, like, toxic behaviour due to it. Yeah. Stop, like, cutting off your girlfriend because you're a Scorpio, or, like, stop not talking to people because they're a Libra. It doesn't matter. Like, and the joke is, I've actually got all aspects of what all signs have to say. So, like, Gemini, I'm a Gemini, yeah. It's true, I've got 2 personalities. I can be loud, I can be quiet. But that applies to a lot of people as well. It does. And then when they try and bring this whole moon thing in, like, oh yeah, you're a Gemini with a Libra's rising. Like, it doesn't make sense. And I hate it so much. But once again, I don't believe in zodiac signs, but I can't tell people that it's not real. Yes. But it's just when they try to, like, blame that for their bad behaviours. Yeah. Just accept that you made a wrong decision. Yeah. It's not because you're a Scorpio. Yes. Hate it. It's childish. But, absolute childish, yeah. But yeah, so I'm going to wrap that up there. Krista, do you want to plug any of your socials or anything?
Just again, walking journalist. I'm a bit slow on it at the moment because of uni, but I shall be back. So yeah.
Yes. I jumped back on the blog thing. I wrote a new blog this week. So make sure you check out my website, www.tanikatamsin.com, because all of my content's up there. I made a new Get Ready With Me. I really enjoyed making it. So really, everyone go visit the website. The link's in the bio. What else do I have to say? Follow all my social medias at Tanika Tamsin. The GenZ podcast's out every Monday at 6. Stay locked in. I feel like I'm missing something out, but if I am, so it goes. Thanks, guys, for rocking me for 10 episodes. If you're bored, binge watch all the latest episodes. And yeah, I think that's everything I've got to say. Yeah. That was a mess, but so it goes, guys. But yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye.